This is part 2 of the Outlook 2013 tutorials, and in this one we'll start talking about calendars, contacts, and a little bit more with email messages. When I receive email messages, I can choose to create a follow-up to it. So I can use this so that it will put a reminder. So if I say follow up tomorrow, so that it puts a flag there, and then I can get a reminder tomorrow letting me know. And you see on the right hand side, because in the view I have added the to-do bar for task, it will have a reminder there that I need to reply back to this person. And you can also view all your messages by the flag tag. So you see all the flags will be on the bottom, or I can click it so that all the flags are on the top. So I can go back to view date, or I can just click on received so that it shows me by received. Okay. Let's talk about how to create contacts and how to use the contacts to write emails. So on the bottom you'll see there's a contacts button, the people picture. You click it. Now I'm in the contacts, so I've just created some dummy accounts here, and if I wanted to write new contacts, I can just start creating it right from here. So in the home I have the option called new contact. I have this tab here, Amir, so I'm just going to remove that because I don't need it. So I'll click here and go to more commands, click on customize ribbon, and I'll just remove that tab that is showing up, Amir. Okay. So when I'm in the home, when I'm coming the people, there's a new contact button, and I click it, and then I can start typing and making it up. So we can just make up some names. I can use the tab key. You can add pictures, company name. A lot of time in the company you will not need to do this because it will already be set. And then I can put the person's email address or whatever it might be. And then I can leave notes, their addresses, a lot of this information I can add it. And if I wanted, if this was like a private at work, I can set it to private if I wanted to. And then I can save and close, or I can even press save and new, so it will open a new contact to be added, and you'll see that that name is added. And you can always click it, and then you can start making changes to it by using the edit button, and you can search for contacts. Now along with contacts you can also create groups, because like this up here I've added a group and different people are part of it, so that when you are trying to send an email to the same group of people, you don't have to keep on choosing them. So to add groups, you can click on new group, contact group, click it, give it a name, whatever group name it is. Now once you've given it a name, we need to add the members to it. So you click add members from Outlook contacts, and then you can just double click on the people and their names are being added, or click on them and add it, and then click OK. And you can always go back and remove them if you needed it. And then I can save and close, and there is the group test A. And you can always go back to edit, and you can even delete the group from here, or when you click on it you'll see the delete button to delete groups or individuals. You can delete them. Now you can view your groups in business card format, and you can double click on it to edit them. You can have the card format, telephone number format, or in the people format, which is what is they using for default. So there are different ways to view it if you wanted to. Okay. Now if I want, I can come back to mail, and from here I can click on new mail, or even if I'm in the contact, I can click on new items and then click on email messages. So you can do it from there. And then up here I can start writing. So say I wanted to send it to Mary Jones, and I hit tab. So you see, as soon as I hit the tab key, the name showed up there. And then if I wanted to type Lisa, and then I can choose the name from here. And if I wanted to BCC to test A, and I type it and I hit the tab key, and you see the plus sign next to it, that means the group has been recognized. So whoever is part of that group will get that email message, and I can then fill it up, and then I can hit send. If you don't remember the names, no problem. You can click on the TO section, the to button, and then start choosing the names, and then you can add them to TO, CC, or BCC. So you don't need to worry about remembering the names if you don't, and you can also do the find option from here or from the advanced find. Okay. So very easy to set up in Outlook to do a lot of these things. You can close it. If I don't want to save it, I can say no to it. So that's the contacts, and even when I'm in the mail message, I can, from new items, I can do contacts right from there. I can even do new appointments right from there, or new task, which we'll talk about. Now if I want to go to calendar, I can click on the calendar symbol here, and now you can see your calendar, and you can view the calendar by day, so the whole day itself, by the whole work week, or by the whole month. I like to look at it by the whole month because it's kind of easy to get a snapshot. Now if I wanted to add an appointment, so say I was going to add an appointment for a Monday, March 31st, so you could just double click on it, or you click on it one time and then you click on new appointment or new meeting, set up a new meeting, or this new appointment is create an appointment. So say I had a doctor's appointment, a dental appointment, so I can just double click on it. For some reason I already clicked on it, so I'll have to just click away and then now double click on it so that I get this window, and say I wanted to say dental appointment location. I can put the address here, whatever the address is, and then I can say this is not an all-day event. It's going to be from say 11 o'clock till 1 o'clock. I can leave notes here if I wanted to. And then in this section here, I'm just going to expand this window here a little bit so I can see, say show as. I can say, you know what, I'm not just busy, I'm going to be out of office. The reason why you want to do this in a work environment is because people can see each other's calendars. So when you put things properly, other people can see your calendar and they can decide whether they should book you for a meeting or not. So that's a good thing to do. If you were tentative, then you can put tentative. So a lot of these other options. And then I can set a reminder. I can say, well, remind me 30 minutes before the dental appointment at 10:30 so that I can get ready and I can leave the office, because a message will pop up, and I can click save and close. And there it's the appointment added. If I was adding a appointment, or say for example a birthday that will be reoccurring every year, so say on the 2nd, if I can double click on it and I can put someone's birthday, and this can be an all-day event, but I'll be free, so I don't need to do that. I can set a reminder and I can say remind me 3 or 4 days ago so that I can get the gifts or the cards or whatever. So you can set that up. And I can do a recurrence. Recurrence means to repeat it automatically every year. So I can click it and then I can tell it that it's a yearly recurrence, recurring every year, and there is no end date. And I can click OK. And for this one, I can set this appointment as private so that other people don't see it. So if I click it, and then I can hit save and close. So now that appointment is added, but other people, when they look at my calendar, they will not see it. Okay. I'll do another one, recurrence, with as if I wanted to make a monthly meeting or weekly meeting. So say on the 3rd, so if I click it, I can even click on new appointment, and I can set meet CEO, the room number or something, and I can set the timing, and I need to meet the CEO on the 3rd, and I'm going to set a recurrence, and I'm supposed to meet weekly, then I choose weekly. If it's every week or every 2nd week, Thursday. If it's monthly, I can say that every 3rd monthly meeting, and I'll just do a weekly every week, and I can say how many occurrences for the next 5 weeks, or you can put an end date. I click OK, and I can say I'm going to be busy and I need a reminder an hour ago, and I can hit save and close, and you'll find that it's added this for this Thursday. Let's see if I scroll down. So that's the 2nd one, 3rd, 4th, 5th. So it's added 5 different on top of that. Okay. and you can see some of my Canada appointments calendars have been added. It also has the US. So that's all it is when it comes to adding calendar appointments. Very easy. Now you can, in a work environment, when you are creating an appointment, you can actually invite the other people. It means that they will get an email letting them know that you've added them to this meeting, and they can choose to accept or reject the invitation. If they accept it, the appointment will get added to their calendar. So, and I'll show you that example when I look at my inbox. So say on the 7th, I wanted to add an appointment and I want to invite some people. So I double click on it and say Monday sales meeting, whatever the room is. And I can say it's not an all-day event. It's going to be starting at 11 till 11:30, and we all will be busy, and have a reminder for 30 minutes ago. And the recurrence, if this was going to be recurring every week or every month, I can set that up. No end date. And before I save and close, I can invite people to this. So there's this invite attendees. So you see that button, I click it, and now I can choose the people or a group. So I can click on the TO section or just start typing the names if I remembered it. So if I click TO, then I can say Amit, required, John, optional, Lisa, required, Mary, required. So I'm adding them, and the resources button is usually sometimes somebody's in charge of setting up the rooms or the conference center. So some companies may have an email address for that, so you can email it to them, and I click OK. Now once I've added them, I can even go from appointment, I can go to the scheduling. So if I click it, now I can see everybody's calendar here. Because these things are not set up, for some reason, as soon as I try to go to the scheduling option, because I'm not set up properly, this Outlook is crashing. But at the work environment, it should work because the calendars will be shared, so you'll be able to see it. And then when you hit the send button, they will get an email with all this information, and you can insert the files to it, or you can leave messages here, whatever else you want it. You can add things here so that everybody will have this, and then you just have to hit the send button. It will be added to your calendar, and they'll get a copy too with the recurrences and everything. And you can also set this as high importance if this was a very important thing. And if I expand this, I might see the word high importance so that people will know. For now, I'll just cancel the invitation, and I'll also delete this. I don't want to do this. So this is a great way, because when you go to the scheduling option, you'll be able to see everybody's calendar. And so I'll just click on the schedule view here. So you'll be able to see the symbols, like if someone's busy or not, and you'll be able to see whether they are free at that time. So you don't have to keep on emailing back and forth to decide whether the person is free or not. This is a really handy thing. And I'll show you that I had sent myself email request, and I'll just go to view and put on my reading pane on the right. So you see up here there, I've just sent myself an email saying from a different email account using Outlook that I've set a lunch appointment, and if I accept it, and I can even send a response now, or I can edit my response before sending it, or I can choose to not send a response. So now if I go to my calendar, I should have that in the month view. There is that lunch meeting added for 12 o'clock. And that was somebody else had sent it to me. So, or I could have said rejected, and they would have got an email saying that I've rejected that meeting. The next thing we'll talk about is the task, so which is the task button on the bottom here, or from new items you can go to task. So either way, if you click on task, you'll get a button right away under the home itself to do new task. When you are in mail inboxes, you get new emails, so it's a really good handy thing. So if I click on new task, I can actually put a subject and say fax report, whatever. I can even set a start date to it and an end date to it, and I can also say whether I've started, it's in progress, whether it's finished, how much, and whether it's a high priority or low priority. I can also set a reminder and say that, okay, I need a reminder on Saturday by 11 if I want it, so I'll get a reminder show up. And even with this, I can set this task as private. So if this was a personal thing, I can set it to private, set a high importance on it. I can also set a recurrence. If I needed to have this task done every month, I can set a recurrence because this needs to be done every month or every week or daily. And you can also assign the task to somebody else. So that means I will create the task and I'll send it, and they'll receive it, and they get to accept or reject the task if they wanted to do that. And you can keep in a copy on the task on my task list if you wanted to. And I'll just cancel the assignment. So I'll just hit save and close here, and the appointment is added. When I finish a appointment, I can right click on it and I can say mark as complete, and it's gone. If this was something which I had a recurrence, as soon as I hit mark as complete, the next appointment for the next month or next day will be added automatically. You can also do the task right from here. Enter, and then it will be added by Brett if you wanted to, or you can use the new option. So it's very handy if you needed to use it. You can also, from this dots here, you can create notes, and you can make new notes. And you can keep on adding different notes here, and they can all be like put and I can just leave a note here. In this case, the right click doesn't work here, but if you click here, I can give it like a category color so that all the telephone numbers will have that category, or some family related stuff maybe have the red category, and they'll be just sitting around all on the bottom, and you can always see it in the notes section. And I can come back to mail. I can even click on something and delete the notes if I wanted to. And there's also an option to forward these notes to somebody else, and it puts it as an attachment. So very handy to do that. Okay, it's going to come back to inbox. So that's it in this video. In the next video, we'll just talk about some extra elements that you may need to know, and also it's also part of the exam questions. For task, it will have a reminder there that I need to reply back to this person. And you can also view all your messages by the flag tag. So you see all the flags will be on the bottom, or I can click it so that all the flags are on the top. So again, I can go back to view, date, or I can just click on received so that it shows me by received. Okay. Let's talk about how to create contacts and how to use the contacts to write emails. So on the bottom, you see there's a contacts button, the people picture. You click it. Now I'm in the contacts, so I've just created some dummy accounts here, and if I wanted to write new contacts, I can just start creating it right from here. So in the home, I have the option called new contact. I have this tab here, Amir, so I'm just going to remove that because I don't need it. So I'll click here and go to more commands, click on customize ribbon, and I'll just remove that tab that is showing up, Amir. This is part 2 of the Outlook 2013 tutorials, and in this one we'll start talking about calendars, contacts, and a little bit more with email messages. When I receive email messages, I can choose to create a follow-up to it. So I can use this so that it will put a reminder. So if I say follow up tomorrow, so that it puts a flag there, and then I can get a reminder tomorrow letting me know. And you see on the right hand side, because in the view I have added the to-do bar information, I can add it. And if I wanted, if this was like a private at work, I can set it to private if I wanted to. And then I can save and close, or I can even press save and new, so it will open a new contact to be added, and you'll see that that name is added. And you can always click it, and then you can start making changes to it by using the edit button, and you can search for contacts. Now along with contacts, you can also, okay, so when I'm in the home, when I'm coming the people, there's a new contact button, and I click it, And then I can start typing and making it up. So we can just make up some names. I can use the tab key. You can add pictures, company name. A lot of time in the company you will not need to do this because it will already be set. And then I can put the person's email address or whatever it might be. And then I can leave notes, their addresses. A lot of